Day 29. That means tomorrow is the last day. You know, when I started this project, I was beat up, worn down, depressed, and unmotivated. And I can proudly say, at day 29, I am still depressed, and worn down, and beat up. But I'm slightly more motivated, and that's a fucking start. Yep. But it's weird motivation because I'm motivated. I'm ready to do stuff. But I don't know what to do. This is an old journal of mine. I kept it at the tail end of 2016 through the very beginning of 2017. I'd really like if there was some insight in this fucking thing. The therapist that I was seeking at the time really wanted me to keep like a intensive dialogue with myself. She said it would be beneficial to me. It was around here that I had a mental breakdown. Then around here I decided that I didn't want to pay for a house anymore. I wanted to live in an RV. And on this day, I found an RV, went and bought it, and it exploded on the way home. Later on that night, I found out that one of my best friends had committed suicide by jumping in front of a train. And then I just stopped writing in it entirely. It sat in the trunk of my car for the next 9 or 10 months, and then I found it and started using it for scrap paper. Pointless. I've been keeping this one for about 6 months now. And frankly, I'm not sure what good it's done me. There has been no epiphanies reached in this book other than the fact that I am a sad sack and probably a pain to be around. So why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because earlier today I wrote at the coffee shop, and the very first thing I wrote was, I don't like the person I've become. And then when I got home, I was like, I haven't read a page out of this. I've just been writing and writing and writing. And I realized the very first sentence I wrote in this book on February 18th of this year was, I don't like the person I've become. I made a video a few days ago actually talking about my photography and how I haven't really been doing much of it, and that I was scared that I was falling out of love with it. And someone really stepped up to the plate for me, insisted that we do a photo shoot together. And I got some really good pictures, and I had a good time. And I realized that, man, I actually am pretty damn good at this. It was one of those counting your blessings type of situations. I could suck. I don't suck at what I do. There's a blessing. I should count that. And then there's another blessing on top of that, because I have someone in my life that wants me to pursue my creative endeavors and wants to help me when I get in a dark headspace, which led to numerous other epiphanies. I have a loving and supportive family, for instance. I live in a nice house on the nice side of town. It might be in Iowa, which I have a love and hate relationship with, but it could be worse. It could be Ohio, could be Missouri, it could be Illinois or Mississippi. I could be dumber. Like, my grandmother, before she passed away, her big thing she always said to me was that I was the smartest idiot she'd ever known, or the dumbest intellectual. And it was always loving and endearing. The way she had that like southern charm, even though she wasn't southern, where like she could insult you, but it would almost sound like a compliment. And what she meant by that, I wish I would have asked her, but what I think she meant by that was that I have the capacity to learn things. I retain information, but I make really dumb decisions, just like over and over and over. Even when I was a kid. But that too is a blessing. I could just be outright dumb. And there's no shortage of that in the world. Sometimes I'll just have a conversation with somebody and they'll just say something really fucking stupid. Vaccines cause autism. I think the world might be flat and the government has been lying to us. We never landed on the moon. Or my favorite, I voted for Donald Trump and I'm happy with my decision. You will never catch me saying that vaccine caused autism because they fucking don't. You won't hear me that the world is flat because it's fucking not. Or that the moon landing was faked because it fucking wasn't. And you sure as hell won't hear me say I voted for Donald Trump and I'm proud of my decision because I didn't. And, I mean, let's be real here. He sucks. Ow, fuck. Ow, god damn it. Ow. Fuck. That's a sharp fucking corner. God damn. I guess all I'm trying to say is that I need to realize that things could be worse. And I usually hate that saying because it really discredits any kind of pain you might be feeling just because someone else might be feeling it worse. You know, if you break your arm and you go to the hospital and someone has broken both of their arms, yeah, it sucks worse for them, but that doesn't mean it doesn't suck for you still. But I'm beginning to think that maybe it doesn't matter if it's comparative at all. Maybe I'm only comparing myself to myself. And that's a good start. It could be worse for me. And when you can twist that around and say things like, it could be better, and you know what? It could. It could be better. But that could be exciting. That could be a thing to be optimistic about. Like, what if you reach your ceiling? What if you reach your absolute peak and there is nowhere to go from there? You might be happy for a while, but what happens when the happy becomes the normal and there's nowhere to go from there? At least from the bottom, you can still see the stars.